Hi, what's up? Welcome back to Tabletop Nights. I'm Greg and today I'm taking a look at Shackleton base from Sorry We Are French, designed by Fabio Lopiano and Nestor Mangon. Sorry if I got your names wrong. Interesting design. Let's have a look at how it plays and then I'll tell you what I think about it. So this is Shackleton base. It's in one of the craters on the moon. And we've got astronauts going out there doing various things, building, completing projects, doing actions for the corporate guys, and it's really interesting. There's a sort of a base game, and then there are corporate modules which you can add into the game to change it up every time you play. So let's have a little bit of a close look at the board. Every round you'll grab a shuttle tile which will tell you what astronauts, resources and money you'll have for that round. And you'll keep them and you'll grab those from the supply and you'll use them for all your actions around the board. Many actions are within the crater itself. This is halfway through a game that I've just been playing with my son. You can place your astronauts and trigger a row or column or hexagonal direction, whichever it is, but one direction through the board, and you only activate the sections that are actually active, meaning they have some buildings in there. When you do, depending on which astronaut you put there, depends on what happens. So for a yellow engineer, you will gain these resources on the yellow sections in the middle of the board here. So in this case, a rare earth and a titanium. For a red, if we place this here, we gain cash for every active region. So that'd be $3 for each. For blue, you activate one of these corporate tokens in each sector. So you can't activate the same one twice. And what you get from them is related to which modules or which corporates you've included in this particular game session. When you go on these astronaut slots, if you don't have a building in that section, so let's say I'm the blue player, I can activate these two sections here, but I have to pay this person, the majority person, so whoever's got the largest building there, I have to pay them cash equal to this amount here. So in this case, I'd get $6, but I have to pay $2 to that player. Interesting. So that happens every time you do these actions. You can also use your astronauts over here in the sort of command section. This gives you corporate actions. This allows you to complete projects. This allows you to build. You can put any colored astronaut there. It doesn't matter. But if you use the correct color, there's a bonus at the end here. So this one is go to the lunar base and basically swap for a different coloured astronaut and gain some benefits. This one is take another corporate action. This one is activate one of these corporate tokens in the middle of the board. So fantastic. Fantastic that these little extra actions relate to which corporates you have, which relate to, you know, these particular boards over here. Now there's 7 different corporates in the game. Each one plays very differently. So they recommend you use Selenium Research, Moon Mining and Artemis, which is basically space tourism, for your first game. But basically, once you know the base game, all you're doing is you're swapping in these modules each time you play. It's fantastic. So the replayability for that is almost endless. You also have leader cards, which have an A or a B side, so they'll be randomized at the start and you can just pick one that's going to suit you. They'll give you some advantages along the way, but they're not so complex that you go, hang on, what does that one do again? The iconography is really good, and the board basically tells you the entire game. It tells you what happens at end game. It tells you what happens when you do this action, what happens when you do the shuttle bits, what happens with the lunar base. You have a reputation track here, which gives you some extra bits. So you are building, expanding. Let's say you want to build here where there hasn't been a building before. You have to put energy there. What do you do then? Well, in that case, you can spend a rare earth to gain an energy from this side of the board, which adjusts this energy marker over here, up there. You add it to the board and now you can build there. There might be a time where you want to complete a project where there's a minimum of, say, 5 energy required in here before you can actually complete that project. So you might have to spend a turn or two building energy just to get it to there so you can complete your project. So you're actually contributing energy to this supply here in the center, which means that when anyone else builds, they can just take one of those for free and start their building. Fantastic. These little push-pull mechanisms force you to sort of help the colony for your own ends. Very smart, very clever. The reputation track, as you go up, gives you some little benefits and some points. But if you don't push that and you start dropping down, you'll lose victory points. Also, at the end of the round, for all your bases and what you're doing here as part of your reputation, you have to pay maintenance. And if you can't pay that, you start losing on this track, which again can lead to lost victory points. So you're trying to expand, gradually build up your reputation, but still have enough money to pay for your maintenance. Really good. Really, I mean, you've seen some of these things in other games, but I think the implementation here is top notch. You only have 18 turns. There's 3 rounds. You'll get 6 astronauts each round. You will interact with these corporate boards to get extra points. You know, for example here, this is literally just spend a rare earth to get some points in reputation, or spend 2 helium here to get 6 victory points. And each one of these can only be used once per round, so you would cover them up. For selenium research, you'll use the resources you've gained from corporate tokens like this one to complete these little projects. They give you an immediate benefit. And again, the more you do throughout the game, the better that is, because at any point during your turn, you can basically claim with one of your little claim markers from your board. You can claim, okay, I've done 4 of these, I want the 8 points, so I'm going to take that one there. Really good. So these are like little races that you're going along at the same time. They all behave very differently, as I said. With your little board, you'll take buildings from here. These are sort of domes and workshops and bigger buildings. But as you build them, you open yourself up for greater benefits later in the game, because then at the end of the turn, whoever has the biggest majority in one of these rows or columns will gain the astronauts back that were sitting at these ends. And as you bring them back, you can add them to your board, which then fulfill some of these. So this one's going to be a discount when you're having to do energy for every red astronaut that you have in this section. Really good. So lots of little puzzles all over the place that you're trying to do while helping the colony and potentially your opponents. But there's no real take that apart from sort of gazumping someone by going in with a majority piece and taking away what they thought was rightfully their area. But that's about it. The rest is, having said that, I haven't looked at the other 4 corporate modules, which may have a lot more of that kind of stuff in them. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. This game is terrific. The components are awesome. These pieces are not plastic or wood, they're just very thick card, but they feel substantial enough that you don't feel like you're being gypped and, oh, I wish that was a wooden piece. I don't care. There's plenty of other wooden components in the game. Even these little things, they're also just cardboard, but they look cool. Everything about this design is fantastic. The project cards you complete will give you some either permanent gains or gains that are only for one-off or when you're doing a particular action, but they have victory points on the bottom of them there. There's always 2 visible. When you take one, it gets replaced. And these again add more replayability, and each little module or corporate has their own cards which allow for different projects. There's little tuck boxes for everything that you get, so it's super easy to set up. You go, okay, you sort out the, Johnny, you sort out the shuttles, Bill, you do the coins, and you do the resources. Oh, which corporates are we going to use today? We need those 3 tuck boxes. Each corporate, then you go, okay, well, these are the ones we're learning today, or you might just mix in one new corporate. So you never feel overwhelmed. Once you've got the base game down and you've learned the icons, it's all there for you. It's fantastic. I really love this game, and I've played like 1.5 games. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. I think it's 8 maybe on Board Game Geek. It's easily a 9 for me. I don't normally do that, but on the year meter, it's a yeah. This is Shackleton base from Sorry We Are French. Don't be sorry. This is an awesome game. I want to see more like this. It reminds me of some of those things like, you know, innovations, but it doesn't feel, nothing about it feels clunky. The themes work. It's beautiful. I love this game. I love this game. So that's Shackleton base. I love it. The inside of the box, awesome. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want us to do a playthrough of this, please let us know. If you like this kind of content, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that you know when we've got more great content coming out. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Greg. This is Tabletop Nights. We'll see you again soon. See ya.